Okay guys, hello and welcome to Bill showing you how to draw a Gothic brick arch centre. So remember that, a Gothic brick arch centre please guys, and that'll be the title for this drawing. So I've provided you with a number of tools, most of which I hope you'll be familiar with: a compass, pencils, rulers, rubbers, pencil sharpeners, etc. And one that you may not be familiar with, which is this tool just here, and that is called a combination square. Okay, so you should each have one of these, and this is literally a combination of a tri-square that gives you a 90-degree and a ruler. This side gives you a 45, but you won't need that today. Okay, and this will slide. Please don't adjust yours because they're all set for the measurement that you need, but this will slide like so to give you different measurements from the edge. Okay, as we go through the video, I'll be showing you how to use that. You should also have in front of you a pre-set up drawing board, somewhat like this one. So you can see this is rigid and that it's set up with blue tack, in your case, just over the edge of the desk. So if you look where my finger is, it goes just underneath the edge here so that it can't interfere with anything when we're drawing. Okay, that's quite important, and it should be blue tack down to your desk all ready for you. And the last, hopefully useful resource you should have in front of you will be a completed copy of the drawing you will be producing on a pre-drawn out sheet. This one will give you the shape of the arch, but yours will be much more complete. To embed some math skills into this exercise, we're going to do a simple sum to centre the drawing on the page. So, between the extents of the border, that being this point just here and this point just here, we have 277 millimetres. The arch I've decided will be 77 millimetres wide. So we can do a simple sum, 277 minus 77 will equal 200. That gives us 77 there, 200 there between the borders, but we want it in the middle, so we could divide this by 2 and make 100, 77, 100, thus placing the 77 in the middle. Please make sure you keep the ruler parallel to the edge of the page when you do this, because if you measure at an angle, your measurements will not be correct because of parallax. So the first measurement we want will be from the extent over here to 100, and the next to 177 millimetres. We do everything in millimetres, okay? And as a double check, we'll check the measurement from that line to the extent, and you'll notice that it is 100 millimetres just there. Well done, you've now set out the centres of the arch. The combination square, which is already set, should be used as so to set out the vertical sides of the arch, drawing right from the top down through the line, one line. A good technique to make sure you're exactly on your line is place your pencil on your dot that you've made and slide the ruler up to it. Now move the pencil to the top and bring the line down. We've set out the vertical sides, and now we're going to put in the springing line. The springing line is the line at which the arch springs from. So starting by eye, 1/2 centimetre or 5 millimetres from the top of the line, holding the stock against the bottom of the page and the pencil against the top of the stock, with this groove uppermost, drag a line across until you reach both lines. You have now drawn in the springing line. You can label it as such. Okay, excellent. The next tool you'll need will be the compass. In this case, the compass will be set up directly to the width of the arch. Once you've made sure that your point is exactly on one side and that you're measuring exactly parallel across the 2 points, strike a line like so up there to past halfway, just by eye. When you turn the compass around, place it on the other side of the arch, make sure that it meets, and simply drag a line up, and this time stop it when it meets the other line, like so. You've now created the arch. Well done. Use a rubber to neaten up any over projection of the lines like so, including the springing line. You may need to just very neatly touching any points that you need to as you go through. And a small amount of over projection, about 5mm on the spring and line, is acceptable. Okay, so well done. You've now correctly drawn the arch. Now title it correctly, please. Remember, brick, centre, Gothic arch. Pop your name in. Okay, there's a final check we can now do just to ensure that we've set this up absolutely correctly, and that's done in this simple fashion. So going back to our original description of two equal radii meeting at a point, that being this one and that one, in the centre, that being that there. Let's find the centre of 77, which divided by 2, guys, is 38.5. There is 38, there is a half. Now at this point you can extend the combination square like so by loosening this and then tightening up again to ensure that it remains square. Place it here and just double check that it runs through the point at the top. Now I will just point out that mine here that I'm using costs £50, and that's quite cheap for one of these. The ones that you're using have been bought by the college and they're £3 or £4 each. So if it doesn't line up exactly, may not be your workmanship, might just be the combination square. But that's the way to check it, okay? And you would mark that CP for centre point, or you might mark it, if you draw the line through, CL for centre line. All right, thank you very much.